What is going on? The reason you shouldn't play Bullet is because since you have like no time, you tend to just make quick decisions and play like an absolute donkey. And in fact, that is what happened in this game, okay? This is an all-time atrocity to all of chess. Chess.com is embarrassed to have this game on their website. The creators of chess from 2,000 years ago are rolling over in their graves because this game happened, okay? This is a terrible game. And let's just get right into it. So the opening is okay. This is all pretty good. Um, and that's the thing about Bullet is, it's just how much of your opening can you just monkey out. I only spent, well, okay, this is a 2-minute game with 1 second increment, so I have 152 left on my clock. Anyway, now he monkeys and castles, and I just monkeyed my opening instead of punishing his mistake, because you see, if I play this move, now the bishop is trapped. All of these squares are covered. You have to play something like this, and then after rook takes, I lose the right to castle. But that's just like super worth it because the king's actually pretty safe in the center with the pawns locked up like this. Okay, but I didn't do that. I just aped my knight. Okay. Well, now I have it on the analysis, so it doesn't show the best move arrow. Anyway, we can get through. I mean, these mistakes are pretty elementary. We have a trade. He goes like this. Now this pawn is hanging. Which I actually do take it for once. He pushes the f pawn. Okay, Ben Feingold says never play f3, so he's like, okay, well I'm just gonna undo that mistake really quick. Trade. Move my pawn up to attack his knight. Knight goes over here, and here comes after Queen d2. Here comes a series of really awful moves. Okay, first of all, Queen d2 starts the awful moves. And by the way, it hit my opponent for his. To protect the innocent here. I hit his name. But I can just tell you on his clock. He had 142 before this, and he had 139 after this. So he spent 4 seconds. I'm waking up in 8.5 hours. Thanks, Flux. Okay, so that was distracting. He spent 4 seconds, right? Because you get one back. So it's a 3-second difference. So 4 and you get one back. And in those 4 seconds, he didn't realize that his knight was just hanging. But there's a plot twist. Neither did I. And I just castle over here, not taking the free knight. He moves king b1 to protect this pawn that my knight's attacking. Not realizing that what's more valuable than a pawn is a knight, which I actually do see. I actually do take the knight. Rook to c1, I don't know what this move accomplishes. Now, queen a5, going after this, threatening checkmate. Pawn goes up, blocking checkmate. Knight moves out of the way. Now, my queen is in fact not hanging because the knight defends it, but he decides not to trade. He decides to just attack the bishop. Okay, bishop goes away, I'm just going to make a whole bunch of mistakes now because his king is just so vulnerable with the queen like this, and even the knight like this. Like rook here and sacrificing the bishop was actually the best move because then I can sacrifice the rook next move actually, and things just get really gnarly. So as you see this line right here, after I would go here, right, take here, and this is the stuff you should play in Bullet, but I don't. This is a good Bullet move here, sacrificing the rook. And this is actually just mate in 5. King has to capture it here. And then the computer likes queen b5 check, but rook b8 check is also still mate in 4. And so yeah, play something like this to get the rook involved. King a2 to defend. And I would play this because I'm garbage, but that doesn't really help the case here. Or maybe it does even. Actually, yeah, it's still mate in 4. It just takes an extra move. So knight here, pawn's pinned. If king goes back here, gets mated. So got to go here to defend the pawn still. Actually, that's knight d5. Knight d3 was the checkmate. Knight d3 check. This is actually double check, even more devastating. And this is why you sack pieces in Bullet, right? King goes to a2. Knight captures here, check. And then finally the king has to vacate the pawn. But that's why I should have sacrificed stuff. But instead, I play bullet like it's freaking 10-minute, but I even take 7 seconds on this move. I didn't even like look at like rook sacrifices at all. So I just went down that whole rabbit hole because that'd have been nice to find in the game. Anyway, I finally moved my rook over. Okay. King to a1. Now it's mate in 6, but I miss it because it's mate in 6 because I have to sacrifice the rook, and all those threats that I went into on the other line are still there. Plus the bishop covers these squares, so I just should be sacrificing the rook here. I don't. 95, I trade. Okay, that's not too bad. It's not sacrificing the rook. And why sacrifice the rook when I can move the other rook? Now he goes rook to b1, defending his pawn, and I miss the move again, just moving the queen up one space for no reason at all. None whatsoever. This was a terrible move. Don't ask me why I played this. And I even took 13 seconds to play this move. Terrible. He goes pawn to c4, attacking the bishop, and that's just a free pawn, by the way, because my queen defends the bishop now. He moves his queen out of the way. Now, he has 29 more seconds than me. He has 1 minute and 9 seconds left. So, I do have 40 seconds left. His position is, like, super lost, but it's bullet. Anything can happen, right? Rook to b3, attacking the queen. Queen moves out of the way for a trade. But that allows me, rook captures a3 check, and that's checkmate. And, I mean, just look at all the missed opportunities down here. And not only would a rook sacrifice be appropriate for a bullet because it's easier to attack on low time than it is to defend on low time because it's so easy to make a defensive mistake, right? And as long as you find good checks on the attack, you're fine. But I didn't sacrifice the rook, and I just played bullet the complete wrong way and like an idiot with like 50% accuracy. So that's why you shouldn't play bullet.